Hey guys, welcome to this video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to perform CRUD operations with an image. I'll be creating, deleting, updating, and inserting an image. So as you guys can see, I have no image on my table, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to add an image column in your table and how to display it and fetch it from your database. So first things first, I'm going to style this button because it's getting on my nerves. I don't know why. So I'll just go to my Pepsi all page, and I'll apply some of Bootstrap classes on this button. So class btn info, and let's see what it looks like. So let's refresh the page. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. I think it needs another br tag to look more perfect, and yeah, there we go, looks perfect. Now what we need to do is we need to add a column inside our table for our image, so let's do that. Now right below the ID, I'll take another table heading and I will name it image, and then I also after right below the table data of ID, I'll take another TD tag, and inside this I'll paste a class, so div dot p-3 and another div, and inside this div I'll give it a bootstrap class. So this class is called align items, I think. It's a class for the deflex class, I think. So deflex align item center, yeah. And I'll take an image tag, and I'll style this tag with another bootstrap class. It's called avatar circle. Okay, now let's see what it looks like. Let's refresh the page. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Once I upload the image, it's going to be round. So another thing what we need to do is we need to add a image column inside our database table, so let's do that as well. There's two ways that you can do that. You can also manually add it from the PHP my admin tab from the structures here. You can add it from the structures tab, and you can also add it from the terminal. I'm going to be using the terminal because it's much more better. So to add a column inside our table, it's pretty easy. What we have to do is write down PHP artisan make migration, and then just add to add. Now my column name, I'm gonna name it picture, so add picture to my table name. It's called Pipsies, so add to Pipsies, add to Pipsies table, and then double dash table equals Pipsies. There we go, our migration has been successfully created. Now let's head right to the database folder, migrations, and this is the file that we newly created. Now inside here I will write down the column for my image, so the table variable, and then I'm gonna specify the type for it to be string, and I will name it image. There we go, simple as that. Now let's run the PHP artisan migrate command to update the database. Now let's head right back to our database, refresh, and there you go, our column has been successfully created. Now what we need to do is we need to close this tab because we don't need it anymore. Now let's go to app, models, Pipsy, and let's add the newly created column here. So it's called image. Now let's close our model as well because we don't need that anymore, and we need to do one more thing because Now that if we go inside our pipc add page, there is no input field to add an image. So what we need to do is we need to add an input field. Now let's go to our template, pages, forms, advanced forms, and I'll be choosing this input field. So this is the whole element. I'm going to copy the whole element and close the developers tool. Now let's go to the pipc add page, and right below the address I'll paste it right here and change the name to image, just like that. And I'll copy this, add it to pipc edit page as well, and I'll also give my input field a name. So I'll just name it image, and do the same thing here, name image. Pretty cool. Now let's go back to our page, refresh, and yeah, it looks nice. So now what we have to do is we need to get to the controller and do the coding part. So inside the pipc store function, I don't really need this. I'm going to be creating another one. So inside this, I will code it to store my image and also my input fields, other input fields. So yeah, let's make a variable pipc. You guys can name it anything you want and connect it with my model. So pipc, new pipc, and my model name. Now let's access this variable that we just created, and then access our input fields with it. So name equals to $request of input field, whatever I'm going to be getting from my input field. I need to save it in the database. I'll copy this and paste it twice because I only have 3 inputs: email and address. So email and address. Now this part right here where I have written name, email, address, it's the same as my database columns, as you guys can see, name, email, and address. And then this is my input field names. I'm gonna show you guys. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is my input field name, email, and then address right here. So yeah, just like that we can access it. Now let's write down the code for images. Okay, it's pretty easy. We're going to start with an if condition. Okay, and I'm going to write down here, if I have a request has file, and my file name is called image. So if I have an image, what you need to do is I'm going to create another variable. I'll just name it file. You guys can name it whatever you want. So request of file function, and this and then my database column name, which is also image, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's also called image. Now access my database field. Now what you have to do is specify the extension for it. So let's create a variable. I'm going to name it exe. You guys can name it whatever you want. So exe equals to the file that I just created right here, and then get me the client extension. Get client original extension. There we go. Now what you have to do is specify or declare another variable. You guys can name it whatever you want. I'll just name it file name, and then equals to, I'll concatenate this with the time function. So time, and let's concatenate this with the extension that I have just created here, the variable exe. And then so what I did here was that I said get me my file name and the timestamp, like whenever my file is going to be saved on the database, it will generate a time for it so it cannot be duplicated. And then with that time, what you have to do is concatenate the extension with it as well, with my file name, with my image file name, concatenate time and its extension. So now let's access the file variable that I just created here and move it inside a folder. Let's access the move function, and before I move it to any folder, I need to create a folder. So I'll just go to my publics folder or directory, and then I'll just create a folder here. So I'll name it uploads, and then aside uploads, I'll make another folder. I'll just call it user. You guys can call whatever you want. So the path is going to be something like uploads / users, and then concatenated with, no, not concatenate, but take the file name with it as well, so I can add these two to my image. Now let's access the Pepsi function that we created right here, and then access our image with it, and also the file name variable. So yeah, just like that. Now outside of this curly braces, what I want to do is access my Pepsi function, and then my Pepsi variable, and then use the save function to save my data. Now one more thing I forgot to do is that I forgot to add the ink type inside my form. So if you ever wanna, like if you guys are going to fetch images from the database or working with CRUD images, you have to type in ink type multi-part data. So yeah, let's just write this down. Multi-part form data, and also inside the edit page as well. So ink type multi-form, oops, sorry about that, form data. There we go. Now let's go back to our Pepsi all page, and let's give it the route that we created right here. So it's going to be something like the way that we just specified there. What we need to do is we need to get into this source tag and write down the path that we just created right here. So it's called the uploads / user / and then the double curly braces, and inside here we need to write down the item variable, and then access our image with it. So yeah, just like that, it's pretty easy. Now let's go back to our project, refresh this, let's add some data, and then let's choose this image, let's go with it. Okay, so I think the path that I created is kind of like from here has a problem. So let's see what the problem is. So let's check the path that we created here, uploads / users. Users. Okay, I forgot to type in users. Now let's go back, refresh, and there you go. As you guys can see, it has been successfully fetched from the database, and it's showing right here. Let's add another one. I'll just name it John or whatever. So john@gmail.com, and I'll just type in New York for the address, and let's choose this image, submit, And there you go. So yeah, this is how you can add images inside your table. And in the next video I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit, update it, and also delete an image. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below. I'll always be happy to help you guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.